Hey everyone, I'm Thomas Henson with Bike Lawyer NC, a division of Henson Fuerst Attorneys, and we're happy today to welcome Jason Biggs to the conversation about safety and cycling advocacy. Jason, how you doing today?
I'm doing great. Yeah,
good.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. You and I have been friends for a while. Part of my mission with Bike Lawyer NC is injury prevention and safety, and I know you guys share that value as well, which is one of the reasons I partner with you all and love being a sponsor for you guys and all that. So I guess the question is, for the people who are either just getting into endurance athletics or want to do some of the longer events, but maybe a little hesitant, they're worried about some of the safety aspects or how they can avoid being injured or being in a situation they don't want to find themselves in. Talking to that segment of people who are just getting into triathlon, what are some of the helpful tips you can give them in terms of maybe training or preparing for an event that helps keep them safe?
So we can start with the swim portion of the event. So the swim is one of the most underestimated events in triathlon because people think that just because they've swam in a lake or they swam in a pool that they're comfortable in outside circumstances or outside environment, and I speaking from myself, I was a classic example 15 years ago. I said, I've been to a lake and I've swam and done this, and I put my face in freezing cold water, and about 10 seconds in I popped up and thought I was gonna die. I was I was shortness of breath. I was panicked really bad, and I got on my back and I literally did a 750-meter swim on my back. So your preparation, and I think people have gotten better at that, is to go and always be in the environment that you're gonna train in. If you're gonna do an open water swim, go swim in open water.
Before the event.
Before the event. If you're going to be in a pool swim, go swim in the pool swim. So knowing these things from experience and doing events long enough, we have a lot of safety features and protocol that we put in to the swim portion of the event. We know almost 100% of the time that the first 100 yards are the most important part of the swim, because people start in a group. I'm speaking more on outside lake swimming. People start in a larger group than they're used to, and next thing you know, you're already nervous. The water may be cold. You haven't done the things to prepare for that coldness of the water, and then you put your head down, and then you get kicked in the head, or you get kicked in the arm, or somebody grabs you on your back and pulls you down. I mean, the swim...
It's just real frenetic, and the water's choppy. It's almost like being in a feeding frenzy.
It's scary. It legitimately...
And not to talk people out of doing it, but this is what you need to be prepared for.
Yeah, it's like being in a wrestling match with people right around you. People come out with bruises, kicks, broken nose, concussions. I mean, those things happen. So we know that in the first 100 yards, we have to be, when I always give my safety briefing to the swim safety, I'm like, first 100 yards, that's the most important. Watch everybody, and try to keep your eye and look for somebody that's struggling. And I always tell people, if you're uncomfortable, those 10 extra seconds are not going to win.
Right.
It's a long day, whatever you're trying to do. So just get in the back. Let everybody go. Get comfortable. Get in your, get it in your feel. So we always put a high emphasis on the first 100 yards. Yeah. So then for the bike portion, like I've said in the past, you always have to, even though it may be the people that we put in place are there, you still have to be conscious of what's going on in your surroundings. We always work with law enforcement. Law enforcement's main protocol is to be at intersections where safety is needed, and they control traffic. Right. But I have seen cars not even pay attention to law enforcement. So then you have to understand that when I come up to an intersection, I've got to look, what's going on, around me. Even though we know that we put a police officer there that's controlling the traffic, and we always have a volunteer at that intersection as well, which controls the rider of the bike. But the volunteer is looking at the rider, not at the car.
Right.
And so, I mean, some of the things we have is where a car decides, they're going to zoom around you, and then they come to a stop sign, and then they stop.
Right.
So what is that? Then it becomes, okay, do I go around them here, around here? So you've probably ridden out there, classic example this weekend. We had a car stop on Martha's Chapel,
Yep.
where Farrington is.
Yep.
We had bicyclists go on the left side of the median into oncoming traffic and took a left. And that's not smart.
Right.
And that should not be the way that triathletes or cyclists should ride their bike.
Right.
They should understand that it's just part of cycling and it's part of racing, that there is, obstacles that may come in the way, but putting yourself in
Yeah,
to
for
get
sure.
run over,
For sure. I mean, it to a certain extent, it's not rocket science. I mean, if you're on your bike, follow the rules of the road
Yeah.
and drive and ride your bike defensively, just like you would in a car. Well, Jason, thanks so much, buddy. I appreciate your time, and it's great stuff. And if you guys got any questions, don't hesitate to contact me through Bike Lawyer NC or through our websites, firm's website at lawmed.com. And again, I'm Thomas Henson. Thanks for joining us. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions about your rights as a cyclist or about bicycle law, feel free to leave a comment below or visit my site at bikelawyernc.com. Also, be sure to subscribe to my channel for product reviews and more helpful tips for cyclists and runners. Ride safe, and I'll see you on the road.